Hey, Calibrate family. When it comes to tools, should you rent or should you buy? Let's find out right after this. All right, guys, picture this. You're standing in your garage. You're looking at that $500 tile saw you bought for that renovation project you did 2 years ago. It's all covered in dust. It's taking up valuable space, and you haven't touched it since. Sound familiar? Well, let's talk about why renting that tile saw or that tool would have probably been the smarter thing to do. It doesn't matter if you're a weekend warrior or you're tackling some DIY projects, or you might even be a professional contractor managing multiple jobs. Renting versus buying can definitely make or break your budget and maybe even your sanity as well. First off, let's talk about money. Basically, that's what drives our decisions anyway. So when you see a $300 price tag on a circular saw, that may look good, it may seem reasonable, but that's just the beginning of the story. First off, you got that initial $300 purchase price, but then you got to factor in the maintenance costs, like blade replacements, oil changes, repairs. Added on top of that is storage that can involve shelving, the case for the saw. And if you're really on top of things, don't forget the insurance. Because if you have a collection of quality tools, that's worth something to thieves. And here's something else you may not have thought about: depreciation. That $300 saw, in about a year's time, it'll probably be worth half of that, around 150 bucks, assuming it still runs good. Now let's consider the alternative. You need that saw for, say, a deck project. What's the rental cost on that? Probably $30 for the weekend. So you just completed a project with a professional grade tool that's been perfectly maintained, and you walk away with no ongoing obligations. If you don't use it that much, you're an occasional user. Let's be honest, most of us are occasional users anyway. It's a no-brainer. The math is crystal clear. If you use that tool less than 10 to 15 times per year, renting is almost always the better choice. Even if you use it moderately, the break-even point is often much higher than people realize when you factor in all those hidden ownership costs, like we just talked about. Here's another thing most people don't consider. When you rent, you're not just getting a tool, you're getting access to professional-grade equipment that would otherwise be completely out of reach. If you walk into any rental shop, you'll find industrial-strength tools that cost thousands of dollars. Concrete mixers that sell for $2,500, you can rent one for about $75 a day. Professional grade floor sanders, they're worth about $1,800 if you buy it off the shelf. Yours for the weekend is probably $90. Those high-end paint sprayers that the contractors use, you can rent them for the price of a dinner. Now, it's not always about saving money, it's about getting results, right? So professional tools are designed for efficiency, durability, and precision. They're going to help you complete projects faster with higher quality results, not to mention better safety features than just the regular consumer grade alternatives. Now, if it's any kind of rental company that's worth its salt, you're not going to be stuck with 5-year-old technology, right? You're going to get the latest models with all the improved ergonomics and the cutting edge features and all the current safety standards. Now back to that maintenance nightmare. Let's talk about something that tool manufacturers don't emphasize in all their marketing materials. Every tool you own becomes a responsibility, and that responsibility is always there. Let's just say you got a chainsaw that won't start after sitting around all winter. What about that pressure washer that developed a leak? Or that tile saw where the blade is duller than a butter knife? What about that generator that won't turn over when the power goes out? Exactly when you need it the most, right? Now suddenly you're spending weekends on Google researching replacement parts. Or you're watching YouTube repair videos, which is nothing wrong with that. That's why this channel exists. Or you find yourself making trips to the service centers, waiting in line. Or you know what they're gonna do, right? After charging you an arm and a leg to fix the thing, they're gonna upsell you on those specialized oils, those replacement filters, those backup batteries, spare chains. So what started out as a simple tool purchase has now turned into that part-time hobby that you never even wanted, right? So when you rent, all of that disappears. The rental company handles the maintenance, repairs, and the storage for you. They got trained technicians, at least they're supposed to have. They got bulk purchasing power for parts. They got climate control facilities. All you gotta do is show up, rent out the tool, and then return it, and that's it. Here's something else you gotta think about: storage. I show you guys a lot of tools on this channel, and I own a lot of those tools. And guess what? I gotta have a place to put them. So this is a very important point. How many of you guys have looked at your garage lately and wondered where all the space went? Tools have a way of multiplying, right? And taking over every little nook and cranny of your space. That table saw that seemed compact in the store now dominates half of your garage. The ladder takes up all the wall space. The leaf blower, the hedge trimmer, pressure washer, all those are stacked in the corners. Your garage is small enough already, but over time it's become the obstacle course from hell because of all the tools you got. Talk about a trip hazard. My point is, most of these tools are sitting around unused about 90% of the time. It's like they got your space in a headlock, holding it hostage. I know the feeling, trust me. Renting eliminates all of this. Your garage can actually be used for parking your cars once again. You can store your seasonal items. You can set up a workshop for projects. You can reclaim your space, guys, and only deal with tools when you actually need them. Renting gives you the flexibility and the efficiency that you need, because when you have a job, you can match the right tool for the job. When you own tools, you tend to make do with what you have, right? When you rent, you get exactly what you need for the best results. Say, for instance, you're building a deck. Just go ahead and rent a nailer or a miter saw or a circular saw that's specifically designed for that type of outdoor construction. If you're installing tile, get a wet saw with the right blade for your specific tile type. If you're a landscaper, you can choose from all the different sizes of equipment based on the property size or the terrain, instead of buying one expensive tool and trying to use that one tool to do jobs that it wasn't really meant for. Just rent the whole toolkit. As much as I like the tools I have, owning tools comes with some stress that most people don't even recognize until that stress is lifted off of you. Every expensive tool that you own becomes something to worry about, something to keep safe, something that you may have to insure, just like any expensive item that you may own, whether it's a house or a car. But it's so easy to steal tools. Or will that tool break or malfunction when you need it the most? Is it even safe to use after sitting in the garage for 6 months or 9 months? All these responsibilities, like winterizing your tools and all this stuff, the rental companies assume this responsibility. They have the insurance, the security systems, the maintenance protocols and schedules. If a tool breaks during your project, they provide a replacement. If it's stolen from your job site, that's their problem, not yours. Renting takes the headache out of it all. And for all you Environmental Protection Agency people out there, here's something that you probably like. Renting is actually more environmentally responsible. Instead of thousands of homeowners owning a pressure washer they use twice a year, rental companies serve the entire community with shared equipment. This means fewer tools are made, less packaging waste, more efficient use of resources, and professional maintenance that extends the lifespan of these tools. Not to mention the knowledge that the rental shop staff has. They have to know the equipment, explain how it works and all that, so you're getting expert advice, right? At least you would hope so. If they know their stuff, they can recommend the right tool for your specific project. And if something happens, they can help you troubleshoot the problem. Imagine trying to get that kind of help by calling some 800 number and waiting forever to get assistance from customer service from a company that's probably thousands of miles away. Now you may say, well, if I own the tool, I have it there. I don't have to waste time, and time is valuable, right? I have it there. But the benefits of renting certain tools far outweigh the drawbacks of owning them. Renting also lets you try it before you buy it. So let's just say you do want to own that tool or you're thinking about getting it. Renting lets you test the different brands and models to see what works best for your needs before making that purchase. So next time you need a specialized tool or something like that, ask yourself, do I need to own this or do I need to just use it? More often than not, renting is the answer.